Hello, everyone. Welcome to the July 15th regular business meeting of the Board of Directors. Before we get started, I'd like to ask if there's anyone in the public who would like to come to speak on an agenda item only. Is there anyone who would like to speak? Okay. Seeing no one would like to speak, I'm going to move on to routine business. And we're going to approve the minutes of the following meetings of the school directors, the June 10th regular business board meeting minutes, as well as accept the minutes of the following committee meetings: May 22nd Communications Committee meeting minutes, July 11th Facilities Purchasing Committee meeting minutes. Do I have a motion to approve?
I so move.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Against? The motion passed. Dr. McGinley?
Thank you. Happy summer, everybody. This evening we have a guest, Lizzie Friesing from the Delaware Valley Green Building Council, and she's here. Yes, here. And she is going to come to the podium along with Mr. Ganan to talk about the Green Ribbon Schools certification, the district award that we received. And Pat?
Hi, I'm Lizzie Friesen. I'm here representing the Delaware Valley Green Building Council. We are a small mission-based nonprofit responsible for the Delaware Valley. Our mission is to inspire, educate, and connect people around green building practices that will transform our communities into healthier, more prosperous places for people to live, work, and learn. So one of our strategic goals at the Delaware Valley Green Building Council is for green schools for all within a generation. And we strive for the transformation of all schools into sustainable and healthy places to live, work, and play. And luckily, thankfully, Lower Merion School District has taken us one step closer to achieving our goal. And that brings us to the reason why I'm here, which is to present you with a certificate recognizing that you're a nationally recognized Green Ribbon District. So I'll give that to you. And a Green Ribbon School, what is that? It takes a comprehensive approach to helping students reach their greatest potential. It promotes healthy and sustainable living for students, parents, and staff, and overall, Green Ribbon schools are healthier, happier, and smarter. And you guys not only have a Green Ribbon school, but you have an entire Green Ribbon district. And you are only one of 14 in the entire country who has accomplished such a thing. And let me find where I am. So there's 3 pillars of a Green Ribbon school, or in this case, district, which is consciousness of environmental impact, healthy school environments, and environmental education. So your green efforts are demonstrated not only through green building efforts of your 2 LEED certified high schools, but you also have the largest fleet of compressed natural gas school buses on the East Coast, and not to mention the way you incorporated sustainability into your curriculum in all your schools. From your Project Change program to receiving the American Schools and Universities Green Cleaning Award, to the efforts of the Student Health Advisory Council, this award is well deserved. We are so happy the Lower Merion School District green school efforts are being noticed, and we are available to support you in continuing your initiatives in the future. So now I'll present you with this certificate recognizing that you won the U.S. Department of Education Green Ribbon School District Sustainability Award. Congratulations.
Thank you. And we'll be talking to you about a special ceremony for our LEED high schools to recognize those. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us this evening. We appreciate it very much. And Mr. Ganan, you're going to give us an update when we get to the facilities part of the agenda? Okay. We'll do it then. We're going to move to the human resource action items, and I'm recommending the Board of School Directors approve the human resource action items as listed in HR 1 through HR 5 on the regular agenda and HR 6 on the addendum. And these include a number of important issues, and I'll highlight a few of them after you take action.
Are there any questions? Is there a motion? Is there a second? Melissa, thank you. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? The motion passes.
Thank you. I would like to note that among the many items, in addition to hiring a number of wonderful teachers that will be with us this fall, the board has just approved the resignation of Dr. Michael Kelly, the Assistant Superintendent, who will conclude his service with us in August and should be here at our next meeting, actually. But at the end of August, he'll begin his service as Superintendent of Schools in Radnor School District. And we know a little bit about that district, and we wish him well there in everything but football. And we will be able to share our expressions of gratitude for his service here when we see him in August. We also have a couple of appointments of assistant principals, and since the principals are here, I'll ask first that Chris Hall, principal of Welsh Valley Middle School, step up and introduce Sarah Stout, who's been appointed assistant principal at Welsh Valley. And Sarah, we have a huge audience on local TV, so this is your big debut. So Chris, you want to say hello?
We're really happy to have Sarah Stout on board. Sarah Stout is joining us most recently from Hatboro-Horsham School District, where she served for the past 3 years as assistant principal, taking on a number of different responsibilities, including taking the lead role in leading special education and language arts teachers in the building, leading professional learning communities, and also leading data teams there at Hatboro-Horsham. We're really fortunate to have her. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay. Want to say something there, Sarah?
I'm really honored and humbled to be here. Lower Merion is a district with a fantastic reputation, and I hope that my experiences can only continue to enhance that reputation. So thank you very much for this opportunity. I'm very honored.
Great. Welcome aboard.
Thank you. Welcome.
And Mr. Hughes?
Thank you, Dr. McGinley. I'd like to introduce the new assistant principal at Lower Merion High School, Mr. John Faley. John has been a teacher at Lower Merion for years, a soccer coach, and he has been the last 2 years an interim teacher on assignment, helping us out when Dr. Marseille moved up into central office. And then most recently, John has been down at Welsh Valley serving as an interim assistant principal. So we are very excited for his experience, what he brings to the school and to the community. And we're very happy, and I'm happy to introduce John Faley. So thank you.
John?
Good evening. Thank you, Dr. McGinley, for this opportunity. I look forward to continue to serve the school district in this capacity, and I'm extremely excited. Thanks again.
Great. Thank you. And I see Mr. Weinstein, you're here. You're not here to quit or anything, are you? I mean, no, just support. Okay, good. Just checking. Also under Human Resources, I'm recommending the Board of School Directors approve an independent consulting contract with Dr. Harris Lewin to provide professional services as the Interim Director of Elementary Education at $500 per day until a successor candidate is hired, but in any event, no later than June 2014. It'll be way before that. We appreciate your help and your service, and we will miss you when you go away, but you will go away. We are working on hiring someone permanent in that position, but thank you for staying on.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
So I'm recommending that, yes.
Okay, so is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
So moved. And a second?
I second.
Thank you. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion passes.
Is there a report of the Curriculum Committee, Dr. Van Lynch?
No report. Our last meeting was June 4th. Our upcoming meeting will be Tuesday, September 10th at 8:30 a.m. And the minutes from the June 4th meeting were shared at the June 10th business meeting.
Thank you. My next recommendation is to approve the educational service items as listed, and these are overnight trips. And because there are some questions about some issues connected with some of these trips and additional information needs to be provided, I'm only asking the board to approve items A1, 2, 7, 12, 13, 14, and 22, because those trips have either taken place or they take place very shortly, and we'll come back with the remainder of these recommendations at the August meeting.
Okay, do you have a motion to approve? Move to approve. Thank Thank you. Thank you, Diane. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? The motion passes.
And on page 5, I'm recommending the Board of School Directors approve the student service items as listed, and these are agreements for students receiving non-school district educational services per exhibits SS1 through SS11. I'm also recommending the board approve the trainer service agreement with Reconstructive Orthopedic Associates, and that the board approve a healthcare provider sanctioned screening program agreement with OIG Compliance Now LLC for in the amount not to exceed $2,500 as set forth in Exhibit SS13.
Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? The motion's passed.
Next is a report of the Facilities and Purchasing Committee, and part of that report will be an update on various school projects by Mr. Ganan. Mr. Novick?
Thank you, Thank you, Dr. McGinley. The Facilities Committee met on Thursday morning, July 11th. All agenda items, including the list of bills and the purchasing report, were reviewed and discussed. Among the highlights addressed during the meeting, we had a lively discussion about the district's paper and digital management policies. George Frazier, our Director of Information Systems, reports that the Knowledge Lake document management software that we purchased not too long ago is being rolled out programmatically, starting with the HR department, and future rollouts will follow. Also, consistent with the district's strategic plan, the committee also discussed paper management and discussed the goal of reducing district paper usage. We agreed that Mr. Frazier and Mr. Ganan will look into district-wide training programs to achieve two goals: to reduce paper construction district-wide, whether through copying or printing, and to reduce paper usage in the implementation of the district curriculum, namely in the classroom through assignments, projects, and the like. Mr. Frazier and Mr. Ganan will report back to the committee in the next couple of months on their progress. Purchasing report, we reviewed the proposed purchase of 4 buses, 3 full-size 72-passenger buses and 1 30-passenger bus. We have a need due to the significant enrollment increase that's upon us right now. Time constraints precluded the more lengthy procurement process required for CNG buses. The 3 large buses are diesels, and the small, the 30-passenger bus is gasoline. But we intend to make, as part of our normal bus replacement program, additional purchases in the fall, and we expect a substantial number of those buses to be natural gas buses. We made some forward-looking fuel purchases through the MCIU fuel bid for the period of July 1, 2013 through June 29, 2014. We agreed to purchase 50,000 gallons of gasoline at $2.79 a gallon, which represents a 21 cents a gallon savings over last year, and 53 gallons of biodiesel fuel at $3.02 a gallon, the savings of approximately a quarter per gallon. Total savings for the district should be around $24,000. We also discussed our contract with Gilbert Architects, our project architect for the school expansions and renovations to accommodate the additional student enrollment. It consists of 4 parts, each with a not-to-exceed fee. The fees in the contract are actually slightly lower than what we had been carrying the soft cost estimates for the project, in which were presented to us earlier. We also discussed a change order to the Arnold Field track replacement, which otherwise is going well. There was deficient subsurface conditions, so they needed to increase our scope of work to that, and that's been done or substantially done. During the process of doing that work after our meeting on Thursday, they discovered an additional shortfall, and that additional shortfall change order for that is on our agenda for tonight. Pat Ganan presented an update on our projects: Gladwin, Penn Valley Elementary Schools, and Ballackinwood and Welsh Valley Middle Schools. All are substantially on time, with only one exception, a 2-week delay on one portion of the Ballackinwood project, but that won't affect school operations. A recovery schedule is being prepared, and we'll review that at next month's meeting. The projects remain below budget, and in a few minutes, Mr. Ganan will give a brief update on the projects. And then finally, we had a presentation from Gilbert Architects illustrating the off-site construction methods that we're going to use in a substantial amount of the work. And I have to say, it's very cool It allows for lots of advantages rather than building on site. And one of those advantages, you have a lot less congested site. A lot of the work's done off-site. They put it on a truck, they bring it, they lift it in a crane, they lock it right in to a prepared foundation. And, we're pretty excited to see this roll out on these projects. That's it. Oh, I'm sorry. Pat also went through the district's 5-year facilities improvement plan for 2013 through 2017. Of course, the costs vary for each year based upon the work that's being projected. But the total estimated cost, this is all in for the 5-year period, totals $8.5 million.
I just have a quick question and comment. Just a comment, the mainline school night, historically, has it been at both LM and Harriton, and this year, coming up, it will only be at LM? So Harriton will not have mainline school night, correct? And then the other comment is regarding the Gilbert architect contract. That additional paragraph was added, correct?
Yes.
There was a discussion.
The discussion from the facilities, there's 2 paragraphs that are being added for our discussion at the facilities committee.
That clearly identify how
Correct.
change orders are.
Correct.
Thank you very much.
The mainline school night issue, that's at the request of mainline school.
They've only requested Lower Merion. It's not us.
I'm sorry,
They only
yes.
requested
Yes, they've
Lower
only
Merion.
Well, we
requested it.
welcome the use of the building.
Yeah, we're
Yes,
not.
sorry, I'm sorry, I should
We're
have been
not
clear
kicking
about
them
that,
out.
yes. I just wanted to let those people who like to borrow the building know that it's now available on Wednesday nights.
Any questions? I moved.
Do you want Pat?
Oh,
to
yeah,
speak?
Pat, I'm
Pat's
sorry.
gonna speak,
There's
yeah.
nothing moved yet.
Thank you, unseen wizards in the back, for turning that on. Good evening. I have 2 updates this evening. As Jerry pointed out, I have an update on our 4 projects that are in progress to handle enrollment expansion at the elementary and middle schools, and then a brief overview of the 5-year plan. Let me start with Gladwin Elementary. I've highlighted on the diagram here the 2 areas of construction. The first is the temporary modular classroom, which will be placed substantially in this area. And we expect mobilization to begin this week. There was a meeting on site this morning with the County Conservation District to get all that erosion and sedimentation control stuff straightened out. And so we have received all the approvals we need to for this, and we believe we are on schedule. The additions project, we're just finishing up the construction drawings portion of the design, and we'll be updating a cost estimate, and we'll be ready to bid that out in August and bring the results of the bids to you in September. And we will do Penn Valley at the same time. Penn Valley, as you know, we're adding just the 4 additional classrooms at the end. While at Gladwin we have received all of our land development approvals, we are still in the process at Penn Valley. In fact, earlier this evening I was at the township for a conditional use hearing related to placing the additional required parking in reserve. So I'm optimistic that the hearing officer will recommend that and that the commissioners will approve that. Again, we'll be finishing up this design the end of this month. It'll be bid next month, and we'll be coming to you in September with the bids. This is the portion of the school at Penn Valley where we will be adding on. And again, as I've explained earlier, we've taken great care to preserve the historic nature of the building as we make this addition. This is an elevation that you would see from Margot Lane. We're adding on to what's known as the 5th grade wing, 4 more classrooms which will be home to the 5th grade. This is one photo from many that were shown at the Facilities Committee that demonstrates the off-site construction method. And this indicates a portion of a classroom being lifted into place. The classroom itself was constructed off-site under controlled conditions, and then it was broken apart for transportation on trucks and lifted into place like this. So we expect that projects such as Penn Valley and Gladwin, which are relatively small, the pieces can be placed within 2 days or less. Moving on to Ballackinwood Middle School, as you're aware, the primary work there is to renovate certain spaces on the interior to provide additional classrooms, and then also to create a secure entrance area to improve the security of the school. So highlighted here are the area of the locker rooms that are now being converted into classrooms. Going up a couple of levels, we're on the same level there as the main office. You can see that over here where we had the wrestling room or the multi-purpose room, we're going to create 2 classrooms. And in this area, we are turning these classrooms into the main office, and then eventually the main office will move in there, and this space, which is currently main office, will become classroom. This is an example of the layout, or this is the layout for the new office location. And the arrows indicate the way that visitors can be admitted to the school during the day in a controlled fashion so that they're required to be validated by the office staff before they have any access to the school. Just a few photos from the project itself. We're still kind of in the demolition phase here. So here's a picture of down in what was the locker rooms. We're demolishing. You can still see some of the plumbing rough-in that has to come out. This is a shot looking the other way, looking through the opening out into the hallway. And again, this is just a large area that we're going to be able to convert into 2 good-sized classrooms. Moving back up to the wrestling room, what you're seeing here is a ceiling that has been demolished, and the light fixtures are hanging there waiting for a new ceiling to go in. And the bulkhead that you see going across the middle of the photograph will actually be the partition wall. The partition wall will be constructed there to create 2 classrooms. And lastly, this is a picture of the area outside the wrestling room that has been demolished to create a new corridor. So hopefully next time I give an update, I'll have photos that show finished spaces or almost finished spaces as we get ready to move in. We are behind on this project, roughly 2 weeks. However, on Friday, the contractor agreed to a recovery schedule. All the contractors agreed to it. So we believe we're still on track then to finish the 4 classrooms. That would be the wrestling room classrooms, the locker room classrooms by the 16th of August, and the main office area by the 30th of August. And at that point, the main office will move in, and then we'll have the contractor work second shift in September and October to turn what is now the main office into 2 additional classrooms. Moving on now
I'm
to
sorry,
Welsh.
can I just ask a quick question? Chris, do we intend to use those classrooms next? Yeah.
No, we'll be
Next
slightly
year?
ahead of our need, which is why we can adjust with this office being relocated in those other classrooms.
So do we need then to spend the extra money of the accelerated second shift?
The accelerated second shift is to get the other areas of the building ready for September, as I understand it.
Well, first of all, there is no acceleration. The contractor committed to a schedule that gets the 4 classrooms ready and the main office ready by the end of August. He fell behind by 2 weeks. Okay. He has submitted a recovery schedule where basically he's going to man up more on the job and get it done within the required time frame.
Okay,
the contract from day one included work second shift to do the final conversion of what is now the admin area into classrooms. And as Superintendent pointed out, we don't need those right away, but so therefore we were able to structure the schedule that way. Moving on to Welsh Valley, this indicates the location of the modular classroom. We are still waiting for our NPDES permit, which we believe will be issued by Wednesday, so our contractor can get busy with his bringing in his modular classroom. The classroom has been moved to New Jersey. You'll recall that it was in New Hampshire, where Jim Morgan had the pleasure of visiting it. And then it'll be brought into site, and we believe we'll still have this ready to go for the first day of school. Moving on to the permanent changes at Welsh Valley, these are still under design. I wanted to highlight, again, they primarily have to do with creating a larger lobby outside the auditorium here by closing in what is now a breezeway, which also allows us to create a secure entrance into the school. So once again, visitors can be controlled, check in at the office before they have any access to the school. The other thing we're doing, which is directly related to the enrollment growth, is we're adding a classroom wing right here, approximately 13 classrooms, and it'll be 2 stories. It'll fill in the space between the gymnasium and what is known as the Link building. which is more or less in this area, from right here all the way over to the gym. And this is a architect's rendering of the elevation. So on the left-hand side, you see what is a portion of the A building. This is the new portion of the building here. There are classrooms on both sides of the hallway on the first floor. On the second floor, there are classrooms only on one side, which leaves us with a roof here, which we are going to plan to bid out as an alternate to be a green roof. In the meantime, this depiction shows a guardrail and also 2 access doors, with the intent that this could eventually become an educational space related to science and other aspects of sustainability. A review of the budget. Jerry mentioned this earlier. This is the numbers here in the first column are the numbers that you approved at the end of January when you approved the concept for these projects. We are still underneath that budget. However, in some cases, individual schools are over, as in the case of Gladwin. If you look at the net down here in the lower right-hand corner, this number has changed by $20,000 since last month. In other words, the costs have gone up by $20,000. The primary differences from the last time I updated you and now is that for both Gladwin and Penn Valley, we're dealing with not a schematic design estimate, but a design development estimate, an estimate based on a more detailed design. And in fact, in every case, the soft costs decrease because of the architect's fees being slightly reduced. But in the case of primarily Penn Valley, the construction costs have gone up approximately $130,000, $135,000, half of which is represented by the sidewalk along Hagees Ford Road, which we had not included prior to this. But the net is still well under the budget. Lastly, project schedule. We're still on the schedule we had briefed you last time. Again, going to be coming to you in September with bids. We're at an important milestone with Welsh Valley. We'll be completing the design development sometime at the end of this month, and we will be ready to come to you and ask for approval of Plan Con D. You recall Welsh Valley is a Plan Con project, so Plan Con D is the point at which we've finished our design development. We'll have updated cost estimates, and we'll ask you to approve the Plan Con D in order for us to submit to Pennsylvania Department of Education. If there are no questions on that, I'll go into the 5-year plan. The 5-year plan is basically a list of projects, if you will, where we have identified the need for projects to support educational program, enhance facilities to support things like sports and other extracurricular, security, which is very important, energy conservation, and plain old facility maintenance and repair. The projects we completed in the last year, the 12, 13, are listed on this slide and the following slide. And again, you've heard us talk about them earlier. Most of them are related to those same topics: school security, maintenance and repair. In some cases, we're already dealing with the effect of increased enrollment, but the two total up to about $1.2 million. They include things like the vestibule that we created on the back side of the gymnasium, which allows us better handicapped access, is in keeping with our new security concept for Welsh Valley, where we're trying to control entry into the courtyard inside of all the buildings. We replaced lockers at Ballackinwood. This was a maintenance and repair sort of thing, but the principal, and this would include Dr. Anderson as well as our current principal, we're very mindful of future needs, so we believe we have enough lockers in this building to handle what's projected for the future enrollment growth. And then we did an important boiler replacement at Penn Win, with old steam boilers being replaced by modern gas-fired condensing boilers, which are much more efficient. We also were able to replace the last set of wooden bleachers in the entire district, and that was at Welsh Valley. So it was their time had come, and we now have a new set of bleachers. We still have a few projects from last year in progress, as you see here. And then we are busy with already with projects that we have slated in the 13-14 timeframe. And again, heavy emphasis here on school security, access control, There are some projects related to the educational programs, such as the modification to the emotional support room at Welsh Valley. And then there are projects related to enrollment expansion, which is the computer classroom conversion at Marion. We have a computer lab that we're going to need for classroom space, or at least a couple of days ago we needed it. But that was our plan all along. If we need more classroom space at Marion, we convert that. And then modify the cafeteria serving line at Welsh Valley. We're doing that so we can increase throughput during lunchtime and make lunchtime more efficient. As the schools know, they're eventually going to have to go to an additional lunch anyway. We're doing additional maintenance and repair projects. And we're continuing our plan to put interior signage in the 8 schools that were renovated from 98 through 2005 that did not get them. So by the end of next year, we should have all the schools with interior signage, and we should also have our 6 elementary schools with upgraded auditorium sound systems. We're halfway through that right now. So other projects we plan for this year we haven't started are shown here. Again, more security-related things, energy efficiency with lighting retrofits, et cetera. And as I mentioned, by the next year, we will have the signage complete and the auditorium sound systems complete. These are just a few highlights of years looking forward. And again, the placement of projects in any particular year is not necessarily fixed. However, there are things we've identified as being important: replacing boilers at Ballackinwood Middle School, for one, repair and maintenance at our historic resource, the Lower Marion Academy. There are other things that have been on our books, and we will reevaluate the condition of them to determine exactly when they need to be done. Eventually, we're looking at some significant work on roofs. As well as some what I would call nice-to-have projects like field irrigation, where we don't have irrigation now. This is what the plan as it stands today looks like in terms of dollars over the years. The 13 is higher than what you would normally expect because it includes the Arnafield track renovation project, which is a single project, but it's pretty significant cost. So that's drove that up a bit. So that completes the presentation. Are there any questions I could answer, either on the elementary or the expansion projects or on the 5-year plan? Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Orlando?
Under the Business Office and Finance, the first recommended action items are to approve the list of bills for payment, approve the financial report for June 2013, and to acknowledge receipt of the fourth quarter student activities reports per Exhibit BF-1.
Are there any questions? Is there a motion to approve?
Move to approve.
Second?
Second.
Thank you. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? The motion's passed.
The next recommended action item is to approve, according to Policy 702, a donation to Penn Valley School from the Gartland family.
Move to approve with gratitude.
Thank you, Lynn. Do we have a second?
I second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? The motion passes, and again, thank you on behalf of the entire board.
The next recommended action item is the board authorize the district solicitor's office to execute a settlement stipulation resolving the assessment appeal for the property located at 650 Dodds Lane in Lower Marion Township. The district will be issuing a refund check in approximately $51,200 and experience a anticipated decrease for the 13-14 taxes of a little over $16,000.
Are there any questions? Do you have a motion to approve?
Move to approve.
Thank you. Do you have a second?
Second.
Thank you. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? The motion passes.
And the last recommended action item in this section is that the school board declares as surplus items the equipment listed in Exhibit BF-2.
Is there a motion to approve? Thank you. Second? Second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? The motion passes.
Under the Facilities and Operations, Mr. Novak already went over all these items, so I'm going to take them in one motion unless a board member wants me to separate any particular item.
I would just like to say, which I say repeatedly, but that I have no relation to Gilbert Architects. So I'd just like to remind people of that. Go ahead.
Okay, then I'm going to take the items all in one motion. That the board approve the bids to the lowest responsible bidder for the Montgomery County Joint Purchasing Fuel Bid for heating oil, gasoline, biodiesel, and other blends of biodiesel or biofuel. Award the 3 72-passenger conventional school buses and the 1 30-passenger gasoline Type A school bus. Also, that's in Exhibit FO-1. Approve the license agreement with Mainline School Night. That's in Exhibit FO-2. Approve the agreement with Gilbert Architects in Exhibit FO-3. Approve the proposal from Valbridge Property Advisors, Lukens and Wolf LLC. That's in Exhibit FO-4. And there are 2 change orders at the renovation of the running track at Arnold Field, and they are in Exhibit FO-5 and 6.
Is there a motion to approve?
I so move.
Thank you, Virginia. Second? Thank you, Jerry. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? The motions pass. So we now move on to business of the Board of School Directors, but because it's summertime, we do not hold meetings other than facilities and purchasing. So I don't believe there's any other committees that have met since we've last met. So I'm going to move right to audience recognition. Is there anybody who would like to speak on any issue at this time?
Good evening. I think I got it. I think the May 13th.
Sorry, Rosa, we all know you, but can you identify
Pardon me?
yours? We all know you, but can you
Oh, I'm
identify
sorry.
yourself,
I'm sorry.
please, for,
Lost it for a moment.
That's
Rosa
okay.
Sirota Winwood.
thank you.
I think the May 13th projected enrollment numbers that the consultant prepared are still up on the agenda. And I may be incorrect, but I believe at a facilities committee meeting in early June, Dr. McGinley, you mentioned that the consultant had sent the latest numbers and you had not had time to review them. I wondered when those numbers will be available to us.
We posted a timeline for these activities, and we said we weren't making additional announcements or discussing these issues in the summer as people were away. And so we'll be doing that when according to the timeline that we reviewed in June.
And that time is on your site?
It's on the timeline that we approved in June.
Okay, thank you. Then I can review it on the site, I take it. It's still there. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Sirota. Is there anyone else who would like to speak? Okay, then I'm going to read the Sunshine Act announcements, which is on July 15th. We met this evening in executive session to discuss personnel issues. Future board meetings are scheduled for August 15th at 8 a.m. That's a Facilities and Purchasing Committee meeting. And then August 19th at 8 p.m. for a regular business board meeting. And with that, we are adjourned. Thank you.